Hello everyone, it is Susan from Susan Hiles Art and welcome to my channel. So today I'm working on my Roxy Journal of Stitchery Volume 3, and I am just going to finish my last tomato this was the last prompt. And so I have one more tomato I need to make and sew on here. And this is my harvest table of my vegetables, which then I'll sew onto my snippet roll. So we're going to do that today. And then I'm going to start the work on my garden shed. So that is the plan for today. So let me kind of move this out of here a little bit. And so all of these veggies are sewn on. I have 2 cauliflowers. So far I have 2 tomatoes. We're going to do 1 more tomato. And I have 3 carrots. And like I said, they are all sewn on. And let's go ahead and work on this tomato because I wanted to show you how I did them. It's really quick. It's kind of fun actually. And they kind of, yeah, they look like a little bit like tomatoes. So I took like a quarter of a cotton ball and just in a circle, you know, I just put my red fabric around it. And so I have, let me make sure that I'm in screen okay. I have my red thread. I'm using pearl thread in size 8. Not that that really matters. But all I'm going to do, I guess I'll just kind of talk you through it because it might be a little hard to see. So I'm going to go make a stitch through, right? So my tomato is up here. And then I'm going to come around one side and go back close to where I made the first stitch. And so what I'm doing is I'm making it into like a little ball. And then I'm going to come around the other side and do a stitch through again. So what I'm doing as I pull those, I'm making the little ball up on top. And don't worry too much about the shape of it right now because you can kind of manipulate the shape a little bit as you're working on it. And now just to make it a little bit sturdier, I'm just going to put a couple stitches through just to help it stay in that shape. And then I'll go ahead and knot that off. And that's the first step. And again, this is, it's easy, it'll go fast. So then I'm going to, so here's my little tomato up on top, and I'm going to cut off a lot of this fabric on the bottom. Not all of it, I mean a good amount because I don't, you know, I don't want too much on the bottom of the tomato. So then what I'll do, in fact, let me just make sure I put a knot in here so it's ready for me in a minute when I need it. And then to make the stem come out of it, the green stem, I have my green yarn and I have my knot in the yarn. So this right here is actually going to be the stem, and I'll shorten it just a little bit once I have it stitched. So from the top of my tomato, I'm going to basically go in the middle, right? Because this is the stem at the top of the tomato. And I'm just going to pull it through. And there you go. There's the stem. Now it's too long, and that's fine. We're just going to go ahead and cut some off so it leaves a smaller green stem. And then it came out through the bottom. So I'm just going to go and make a little knot down here just so that it doesn't come out. And then that's it for the stem. Then all we have to do is to sew the tomato onto my harvest table. So I'm going to grab my harvest table. Now again, it's kind of bulky in the bottom, but somehow it seems to work. So I think I'm going to put this tomato like over here. And I'm just going to kind of push it down, get it in the spot where I want it, push it down, and I'm going to hold it there and turn it over. So I'm just going to sew it to have it stay in place. So I'll put a couple stitches in just to keep it where I want it. Okay, so now I'm going to sew it closer to the edges of the tomato so that it pulls the sides of the tomatoes down. But what this does is it's going to help cover all of that extra fabric underneath, and it's going to sew it nicely onto the fabric. So I just kind of keep looking around and see, here's the top of the tomato, but I'm like looking under here, and I know I have to put a stitch right there to hold the side of the tomato down. So this is what we've got so far. Let's see, I think I'm going to trim a little bit of this to get rid of these long red threads like that, and kind of look at it so you can kind of smush it around and kind of shape it just a little bit. I mean, it's a tomato. You guys know they're not perfect. So I kind of like that, and I think it's down enough on the sides. Like I can't see the fabric that was underneath it. And it's a different size than these other two tomatoes, so I like that a lot. So I'll go ahead and knot this off. And that's it. That's going to be it for my tomatoes. And so that, like I said, that was the last prompt. And I'll show you where I'm going to stitch this onto on my snippet roll. So on my snippet roll, so I'm working on the whole thing at once, and this fabric right here, that's my garden path. I used all scraps. There's my little door. More path, I have flowers, my wildflowers. And this is going to be sewn on the bottom block. Like I don't know if I'm going to have to add more to the end of this, so I kind of left this lace kind of loose right here, and I'm going to continue to do that. But this, I think, will go down here, and part of the reason why it's going to go on the bottom is because it's dimensional, right? So it feels heavier to me, and I think having that on the bottom visually will be best for this snippet roll. So that's where it's going to end up, is right there. I'm not going to sew that on this video because now we have to work on the little she shed or garden shed. I think most people are calling it a she shed because that's right where my head went when I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a little she shed. All right, so obviously I did pull out some fabric, and so what I want to do is this. I took a piece of canvas and I cut it into the shape of a shed. And it's kind of a small, squatty looking type shed because I was thinking once it's done to maybe put it, I don't know, maybe over here somewhere. I could even put it like down here. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. But I needed it short and kind of squatty looking because of the area that I have to sew it on my snippet roll. So what I wanted to do in this video, and then I'll come back next week and we'll actually sew, but I thought we could figure out the composition of the fabrics for this little garden shed. And I kind of have an idea. So, I mean, obviously I like the fraying. So I even want the fraying to still show around the shed itself. Now, I know that I'm going to have to come in and trim, but let's go ahead and place the fabrics first. So I don't know, because I'm trying to keep it to where, you know, it's a lot of the same colorway, right? So like I pulled this piece in and I have like the like mustard color here as well, and there's some blue. So I want to make sure that it looks good with my snippet roll. So I liked that there. And these are just out of my little scrap bin. So I was able to find these things in my little scrap bin. And so this one was already cut in this shape right here, like with that angle right there. So then, you know what, I'm gonna cut this so I can see the angle of the roof. All right, so I have that. I have string thread everywhere, as you can imagine. Now, for the top, so I could do a couple different things. So I thought I could put, like, I really wanted to have a piece of this burlap kind of here at the top where the roof would start, and then put a piece of fabric as well. Of course, I have to cut that, but so I'm just going to kind of leave that there for a sec. Then I was like, well, I could bring in another color. And I thought about this color, and it would work because I do have some areas on the snippet roll that's kind of like this burnt orange. But I don't know that I want to do that. Maybe I'll use this for like a little door. Maybe I'll do that. And the blue, definitely blue, because, well, there's blue on the flowers, and we know that there's blue already on the snippet roll. So you know what, I don't necessarily want these to be even though, so maybe I'll go like that. I don't know, I could move these things, and if I put this, see, I had this dark brown, which I really love this fabric. Maybe I'll stick with the dark brown, the solid dark brown. I'm gonna actually cut this, well, tear it, hopefully, in half. And so this I'm going to put up here. Now there is a method to my madness here, so bear with me. Okay, so if I go with that, which I think I'm going to, all right, let's trim this. Make sure it's in the right spot before I trim it. And then let's go ahead and trim. The only thing is I'm getting rid of all the fraying, which I really don't want to do, but, well, this up top, I think I could cut maybe a little shorter so that the fraying from the base of this will show. Oops, I can feel I'm trying to cut, but there's a pin. I have to get away from that pin. Okay. So, yep, that looks good. I can straighten that out, or maybe it just needs to go like that. So that's the top. So let me cut this. I have to make sure I don't get the pin. I ruined a really good pair of scissors by trying to cut and not realizing that the pin was there, and I ruined a really good pair of scissors. Okay, so that's it so far. Like I said, I would really like this here. You see where the roof starts? To make it more obvious, I thought that that would look really cute on there. So I'm going to pin that, and then we'll cut that. Now with burlap like this, it can be tricky because, well, the burlap, obviously it falls apart really easily when it's like a really big burlap like this. But I'm going to go with it and see if I can get it to work. I don't care if it looks shabby. Obviously, I like that look. You know, the frayed, messed up look. So I kind of like that it looks like a mess already. That's cool. I like that. All right. So the brown part of the roof isn't quite straight, but I'll make sure when I sew that on that it is straight. I don't want to take all these pins out though. All right, so now if I kept it like that, then I could put a door in here. So would I want this color? Let me cut, I'm just gonna cut this in half. And let's kind of fool around a little bit. So I think this is too long, first of all. So let me just cut the bottom. And I could put like a little door like right there. I like that. I could put it to the side. No, I like it, I think, in the middle. Or I could go with brown. So let's try that. All right. I think it needs to be a little smaller. Oh, I think I like the brown door better. What do you guys think? I think I like the brown better. Yes, I do like the brown better. Well, you guys let me know what you think. I like them both, actually. So then this would be my little garden shed. Like that. You know, I'm not even going to pin that on because I have to sew everything down. And then I'll put the door on. So that's it. So that's going to be my little shed. And like say it was going to go like right here. I mean, that would look really cute, right? I like it. Or I could put it even down here or over here. So there's plenty of places to put it. And again, I like that it's, the color is pulling that mustard color. Oh, I love that mustard color. I'm kind of leaning more towards having it up here though. So maybe that's where I'll sew the garden shed. But that's it. Oh my gosh. All right. So I'll be back next Wednesday and we'll finish up the shed and get that onto the snippet roll. And then I think next week another prompt comes out. And then I'll be back the following week to start working on that. So that is it for today. And, you know, I had this little piece of, ooh, that would kind of look cute down there, almost like a little fence. Oh, something to think about. Well, that's kind of cute. I don't know. We'll see. So that's it for today. And thank you so much. And I will see you next Wednesday. And every Monday I put out a slow stitching video if you would like to stop by on Mondays as well. So Mondays and Wednesdays are my slow stitching videos. All right. God bless everybody. Have a blessed week. Bye-bye.